welcome back to my class. And today our topic is a voice change again, the next part of it, which is for a different tense altogether. Last time we had talked about simple present tense, and I had only talked about only the rules. But here I'm going to talk about some other rules and this time the tense is also different. First we will talk about present continuous tense. Okay. Now let me just write it there. Present continuous tense will be the first topic, and based on that tense we will talk about the rules that are to be done while you're changing from active to passive. So the tense is present continuous. Yeah. For present, very important, continuous tense. Okay. Now when we talk about present continuous, the thing that comes to our mind is something which is going on right now, right? For example, right now I have just started. I'm teaching voice change. So this work I'm doing right now, isn't it? So that is present continuous tense. So here, for changing from active to passive in continuous tense, what is the rule that we need to follow? Now, if you have already practiced about simple present tense, we already know the rule that it has to be subject plus helping verb plus V3 plus by and object. Same rule is applicable here, but with a little bit of difference. What is that? So first I will write the rule here, that is subject. Now subject means, yeah, subject. Here subject means active voice का जो object है वो हो जाएगा passive voice का subject, right? So here I'll write in the bracket that the object of active voice. Object, I'll just write in short, okay? Object of active voice. Yeah. Right? So the subject will be here, object जो कि active voice का object है वो हो जाएगा यहाँ subject, and there comes the sorry, not here. There comes the thing of helping verb. Next comes helping verb. And then we have to add a very important thing, that is being. Okay, only in case of continuous tense, present continuous tense, we use the word being for changing from present to past. Okay, plus being. So I'll just write it in capital. Yeah, I'll just do it this way. Here, being. Then comes V3, that is third form of the main verb, similarly like that of simple present tense, plus V3 plus again by and then object. Okay, plus by plus there comes object. Here object means जो कि active voice में which was playing the role of subject. Here it will become subject. So here I'll just write object. Object means in bracket, like I had written here for subject, object of active voice, so it will just be the opposite. यहाँ पर object मतलब subject of active voice, right? Now let's see. Okay. Now, yeah. So I'll just do it this way. Clear? So the rule is just the same. Okay, rule is just the same, but only one thing has come new, and that is this one, by being. This is very important. This, if you do not give in case of present continuous tense, then the meaning of the sentence gets changed altogether. I'll tell you how. I'll tell you how with an example. Okay, so now let me just tell you a sentence in active voice. Okay, so suppose if I tell you this sentence, Okay, maybe I'll just write it here. Okay, I'm writing here with a different color so you can understand that I'm talking about only I'm only talking about active voice here. Okay, so I'm just writing active voice. Rohan is practicing maths. Rohan is practicing maths. Yeah. So here this is the active voice. Don't get confused. This is just the active voice. इसलिए मैंने दूसरे color में लिखा है. Okay, so I'll just write here in short active voice. EAV. Okay, which means active voice. Now I'll change this to passive voice. So what is the rule that I'll apply? Let's see. Here, as we can see, who is the subject? Rohan. Yeah, Rohan is the subject. Now, because it is continuous tense, so helping verb will come even in active voice, right? In simple present tense, when I was talking about, I had said that in simple present tense, there is no need of any helping verb or anything as such, because it is simple tense, so you just don't put any kind of complications. So, but here it's present continuous tense, so the complication starts to creep in. Yes. So, again, we have to put the helping verb. Rohan is practicing maths, and also I'll tell you one more thing while I talk about this. See the spelling of practicing. Okay, you might ask me that practice spelling is P-R-A-C-T-I-C-E. Then why S here? Well, because I am using it as a verb. The words practice, advice, these words change, they change their spelling when they are used as a verb, right? अभी यहाँ पर मैं practice को use कर रही हूँ as a verb, इसीलिए मैंने S add किया है and not C. Practicing नहीं कर रही हूँ. Practice कब होता है? P-R-A-C-T-I-C-E when we are using it as a noun. तो मतलब मैं यहाँ पर tense के बीच थोड़ा noun verb भी I have just given some added tips. So just remember, okay? Same goes for advice also. When I'm saying advising, it's a verb, it becomes S. The spelling becomes S. But when we talk about that, I have an advice for you. So it's noun, so wo hoga CE, right? So for practice and advice, in both the cases, the rule is just the same. Okay, I just got derailed. Now let's come back to our voice change. So Rohan is practicing maths. So here subject is Rohan, helping verb is as we can see, because it is present tense, so is, and Rohan is singular. Practicing continuous tense, so we have to add ing with the main verb. So that's what exactly I have done, practicing ing maths. Fine, maths is the object in the sentence, right? So should I just mark it as subject and object? I'm just marking for your convenience. This is subject. एकदम छोटा-छोटा करके मैं लिख रही हूँ ताकि I get some more space. And here is the object. Okay. Oh my God. What happened? Yeah. This is the object here. Fine. So here is the subject, here is the object, and this is completely an active voice. Now I will change it to passive voice using this rule that I have written here. Okay. Fine. This is the rule. Please remember, this is the rule. Yeah. Here is the rule. So let's start. Subject, which is object of active voice. So here is the active voice object. So let's bring it in the first, let's drag it here to the first position. So it becomes maths yeah. So then comes helping verb. Well, maths is also singular. Rohan was singular, so I added is. Here again maths is also singular, so again is, because it's the name of a subject. S मतलब ये नहीं कि ये plural है, right? You have already learned that. Maths is a name of one particular subject, so it is singular. Maths is, then comes being. We have to add being with this. Maths is being V3. So where is the main verb in the sentence? Practicing. This is the main verb. So let's make it in its third form. Practiced, right? So it's being practiced. Now because it is passive voice, so we need that agent, right? किसके द्वारा काम हुआ है, so we need that word by, very important, right? Here is the word by, so I have to write here practiced by, किसके द्वारा practice किया जा रहा है, रोहन के द्वारा, right? So maths is being practiced by Rohan. So ये रहा हमारा new converted sentence which we have converted from active to passive, right? So this is the new sentence that we have got, and this is passive voice. Passive voice. Remember, ये रहा active, green one was active voice, and this is passive voice. Maths is being practiced by Rohan. Clear? So that's how we change the sentences, and we do it this way, that because of this particular word being, ये जो word है being, this is bringing the changes. I was telling you, right, that if you don't add being, तो क्या होता है, sentence is still made but meaning gets changed, meaning अलग हो जाता है. When I talk about like अगर सोचो तुम being नहीं दिए, maths is practiced by Rohan, तो उसका मतलब क्या होता है कि रोहन के द्वारा मैथ्स प्रैक्टिस किया जाता है, मतलब he does it every time, he is used to doing it. But I am not saying that. इस सेंटेंस का मतलब क्या था, रोहन is practicing, मतलब वो अभी कर रहा है, he is practicing right now. I'm using continuous tense because I'm talking about अभी का जो at this moment whatever is being done. So अगर तुम being नहीं दिए तो मीनिंग पूरा चेंज हो गया, मतलब वो हमेशा ही प्रैक्टिस करता है. नो, आई डिड नॉट से दैट. अगर मैं बोलती कि रोहन प्रैक्टिसेस मैथ्स, तो हो जाता कि मैथ्स इज प्रैक्टिस बाय रोहन, बट इन दिस केस वो अभी प्रैक्टिस कर रहा है. सो फॉर दैट सेम मीनिंग वी हैव टू ऐड दिस वर्ड being. Okay, so this word is the one which is bringing all the changes in the sentence. So it is like creating a huge change in the meaning. Simple present tense और present continuous में जो अंतर है, that one difference is getting reflected by this one particular word, that is being. So if you do not put this word while you are changing from active to passive in present continuous tense, your sentence is completely wrong, right? So that's how we get different meanings of different sentences. Okay, now, so this is one example. Now I'll write one more example so that it becomes easier for you to grasp. So let's do it this way. So we are planning a trip in February. तो ठंड की मौसम है, तो बहुत लोग बहुत जगह पर घूमने जाएंगे. I'm sure you people will also go. So it's a very relevant sentence at this time of the year, when it is really the greatest time to go for all kinds of vacations. Well, we are planning a trip in February. Now, this is a sentence in active voice. As you can see, I have written in its active voice place. So where is the subject? Let's find out. The subject here is we. Am I right? And it is continuous tense, so again I have to use helping verb and main verb both. So helping verb is are, as you can see. Main verb is planning. This is the main verb, action word. Okay. Now object mein we have got a trip in February. So this entire thing is object. This whole thing is object. Yeah. Now we have to change this sentence into passive voice, right, using this rule. Yeah, using this rule with the green tick. Now when we do that, you may ask me that usually what we do, अभी तक हम लोग जितना भी sentence करके आए हैं, we are taking the whole object as the subject, right? We are not leaving out anything. But यहाँ पर you see here it's written a trip in February. Now can I take the whole thing in front? Will it really sound good? I don't think so. See, अगर मैं बोलूँ a trip in February, we don't start a sentence like that. So यहाँ से हम लोगों को किसको लेना है? A trip को लेना है कि in February को लेना है? So how will you find out? You have to think in your mind which sounds correct, right? So now I will take only this part. I will take only a trip. Bas, I'll begin my sentence with a trip. A trip Okay, I'll use some other color. Passive voice. A trip. Yeah. Now will come helping verb. A trip is. Yeah. A trip is. Then comes being, the very important word which brings about all the changes and the meaning. So a trip is being V3, third form of the main verb. The main verb was this. So iska third form kya hoga? Planned, right? So is being planned. A trip is being planned by object. By कौन है यहाँ पर? First I'll write by no. By object जो कि है active voice का subject. तो here is the active voice का subject was we. So this we becomes us when we change it into object. So it will become by us. Okay, it will become by us. Now a trip is being planned by us. My sentence is still making sense. ये sentence का मतलब I can still put a full stop. But as I told you, we cannot leave out any part of active voice in passive voice. हम कुछ छोड़ नहीं सकते. तो in February छूटा गया था, right? I did not use it at that time. So now I will use it in the last. A trip is being planned by us in February. In February. So now that's how I make a sentence. Okay. A trip is being planned by us in February or in the month of February, whatever you write. So that's how you have to decide. If the object is like too long, then you have to figure out that whether I have to take the full object or I can just split it into parts and I can just take one part of the object as a subject and I'll keep the rest as it is. I do not change it at all. Right? तो मैंने क्या किया? सिर्फ a trip को यहाँ पर लिया. I did not take in February वाला part यहाँ पर, right? उसको मैंने जैसे वो last में था, I kept it in the last as it is. I did not disturb that particular part because I don't need it. Because if you now you think, if I bring the whole object as a subject, how does it sound? A trip in February is being planned by us. The sentence is grammatically absolutely correct, but it doesn't sound good. A trip in February, we don't start. A trip is being planned by us in February. So it is according to the subject and the sentence that you have to decide that how you want to do it, right? So it is completely up to you that whatever sounds better, you have to do it in that way. Okay, so this is the particular rule and we have changed again another sentence into passive voice. So that's how we change from active to passive in present continuous tense. Okay, now I'll give you one more sentence just to keep it a little bit more clear. Now here I had told you that if the object is too long, do not bring the whole thing. Now look at this sentence that I'm saying next. You are asking a lot of questions. Well, now here again look at the sentence. It is again in active voice क्योंकि जो doer है, मतलब जो subject है sentence का, वो खुद काम कर रहा है, मतलब वो खुद questions पूछ रहा है. He doesn't need help of anybody. Therefore, it is active voice. Now I will change it into passive voice, and as you can see, it is already there in present continuous tense, isn't it? So now when it is in present continuous, again I have added the helping verb and I have added ing with the main verb, as you can see, as written only for continuous tense. Now in the previous sentence, the previous example, I told you that you can break the object into parts if you find that the object is too long. Now look at this sentence. You are asking a lot of questions. Where is the subject here? Subject is you, so I have marked it as S. Helping verb, main verb, I'm not marking, you already know. and object is the whole thing, a lot of questions. This entire thing is the object of the sentence. Now, you might tell me that whether I should again break it into parts and then bring it to subject's place. Should I just bring only questions? Well, in this case, I'll tell you. Here, you cannot split the object into parts. You have to bring the entire part as the subject of the sentence. Okay? Because if you just bring only questions, what will you do with a lot of? You cannot leave out this separately from questions. हम इसको अलग split नहीं कर सकते because a lot of is acting as it is showing the number of questions, quantity, right? We have read adjective of quantity. So it is talking about the adjective of quantity for this particular noun. Therefore, you cannot change, you cannot separate the adjective from the noun in this part, right? Therefore, when you are changing this particular sentence, you have to bring the entire part of the object to its subject's place. Then only it will make sense. Otherwise, it will not make any sense, right? So it's not necessary that whenever the object is too long, I have to split it into parts. No, it depends on the sentence. It depends on the part of the object whether you can split it or not. Okay. So now when I'm changing it, I will bring the object part as the subject, as I have written here. Active voice subject means which is object of the active voice. So here I'll bring the entire thing here. So it goes this way. A lot of, okay, I think I'll just use some other colors for your own understanding. Let's mark it this way. Okay, so a lot of questions. Okay, now a lot of questions. Now questions means here I'm talking about plural. So again we have to use are. Now don't confuse that just because in active voice I have used are, helping verb, so that I have to use again are also here. No, it's not so. It goes this way that you have to do it in is according to the subject. If the subject is singular, then is. If it is plural, then are. Here it is plural, so I have used are. Okay. Now helping verb are. After helping verb, we have to use the main word being, the very important word for continuous tense. Being. A lot of questions are being. V3. So where is the helping verb? Where is the main verb in the sentence? Asking is the main verb, right? So I have to change it into its V3 form, which is asked, ed, right? So let's do it this way. A lot of questions are being asked here, and then comes by and then the object. By, object कौन है यहाँ पर? You. So you do not we do not change the form of you in its subject or object. It is still the same. जैसे we का हो गया था वहाँ पर us, but for you it doesn't happen that way. You remains the same even if it's subject or the object of the sentence. Okay. Now a lot of questions are being asked by you. So I'll keep it simple. I will not change it. Okay. Now so here is our active voice in present continuous tense, and here is our passive voice in present continuous tense. Okay. So the rule is this: you change, you have to just bring, for simple present tense also the rule was just the same, but only we do not need this particular word in simple present tense. Being is used only and only for present continuous tense. As you can see, it's written here. Okay. Being is used only for present continuous tense and no other tense. Okay. Now otherwise the rule is just the same like simple present tense, but only here you have to bring being, B-E-I-N-G. Don't confuse it with been, that is B-E-E-N, because that is a different word altogether and this is a different word altogether. Fine. So that's how we change it. And for objects case, if the object is like too long, you have to split it into parts. But if the object is long but it is given in that way that here the adjective and noun are put together, then you cannot separate it in that way, right? Then you have to bring the entire thing here. Because see, if I tell you, if you bring only questions, then what happens? Questions are being asked by you a lot. Does it really make any sense? No. Because you cannot change a lot of from these questions. You have to keep it together, then only it will make this sense, right? So that's how we change from passive, active to passive. This was because this is the most common form that we do from active to passive. Even in exams also, usually it comes this way, that they give active voice will be given and you have to change it to, you know, passive voice. So that is how you will do. And the rules, just you have to remember only the keywords. Here being is the keyword. This is the keyword for present continuous tense. Okay, and that's how we do. We'll talk about present perfect tense again. There also the rule changes a little bit. Otherwise, the format is still the same. Okay, so that's all for now. Thank you.